Welcome everyone to the 30th Pan American Racquetball Championship. This is our doubles final, and we're in for a treat. We've seen some incredible racquetball so far today. We hope you're enjoying the finals from Costa Rica in San Jose, the capital of Costa Rica. I'm Laura McCormick, and Dr. Timothy Baghurst is joining me on the mic. Welcome, Tim.
Well, thank you, Laura. This is the match I've been looking forward to today most of all. Mexico against the United States. I love watching doubles. There's so much action, so much excitement, and we've seen some terrific matches today. Probably the standout was Ronda Racich winning 11-9 in the tiebreaker against Mexican Paola Longoria this morning. And this is an opportunity for Mexico to wrap up the team competition or the United States to keep it interesting.
And we have seen some interesting matches today. We started off the morning with the women's singles final where Paola Longoria and Ronda Racich went head-to-head. They went to a breaker, ended 11-9 with Ronda Racich taking gold for USA, which means Mexico wins silver. Then we moved right into the men's singles final, where we saw Alex Landa, who's out there on the court right now. He'll be playing on the backhand side, it looks like. He took on Charlie Pratt from USA and defeated him in 2 straight to take gold for Mexico. Then moving on to the women's doubles final, we saw Team Mexico, which consists of Samantha Salas and Paola Longoria. They took on Team Ecuador, featuring Veronica Sotomayor and Maria Paz Munoz. Mexico won that and took home another gold for their team. And now Mexico and USA will battle for another gold medal. So we know Mexico already has 2 gold medals. USA has 1. We saw four Mexican teams throughout these all these divisions, and we've seen the USA in 3.
And last year, Mexico ran the table both in women's singles and doubles and men's singles and doubles. So this is a little bit of an upset in the fact that the U.S. have won a gold medal here. But Mexico are the favorites on paper. They're ranked number 1 on the seeding. They defeated Ecuador in their first match. They received a bye through to the quarterfinals and beat Ecuador in a tiebreaker 11-3. That was a repeat of last year's Pan Am Championships final. They then defeated the Dominican Republic, who made it to a semifinal, which was a great result for them, and won comfortably last night, 15-3, 15-3. USA also received a bye in their first round, where they took on Argentina, winning 15-8, 15-10. And then Keller and Moscoso, what a great match that was last night. I hope you enjoyed that if you saw it. 15-12, 15-7, the Americans won.
That was the Bolivian team that you're talking about there. And I love how the crowd really gets into it. They keep everything really quiet, which forces me to want to lower my voice as well. We are right in the mix of things here at San Jose Indoor Club.
Here we go. Chris Exner from Canada is our head official. An error from the right-sided player from Mexico, Polo Gutierrez. Laura, you'll see his right elbow is heavily bandaged, wrapped up. I spoke to him earlier, and he's got an ongoing elbow tendonitis problem, and he's going to be having surgery after this tournament.
Nice shot from Jake Bredenbeck. Yeah, that injury has been ailing Gutierrez for quite some time. It took him off the Pro Tour back in 2015 in May, and he's been kind of on and off ever since, trying to avoid surgery, but as you found out, Tim, it looks like he's going to have to go in for that.
And we wish him a successful surgery and recovery. Meanwhile, U.S. are up 1-0. Side out Mexico. So far, it's Landa who's controlling it for the Mexican pair. In the back, Jake Bredenbeck is on the left side. David Bobby Horn is on the right.
So if we're talking injury, just a little bit more background. This is Jake Bredenbeck's first tournament coming back playing with his right arm. He previously tore his right labrum at the US Open last October. And coincidentally enough, David Bobby Horn suffered the same injury 5 years ago and had to go through surgery. Jake so far has avoided surgery. He was able to do physical therapy, and hopefully he can keep it that way. He's been playing great all week.
The U.S. have really been pounding the ball. Bobby Horn and Jake are so fast, really quick hands, and so it's a perfect combination for doubles. Whereas the Mexican pair, maybe a little bit more high percentage, make perhaps the smarter shots, and so it's going to be a contrast between control and power, I think, in this match.
And one thing that I think comes into play at events like this too is a little bit of age and experience kind of changes maybe some of your strategy or the pressure that you've been under. All 4 of these men have played for their team, for their country. They've played under high pressure situations, but Team Mexico with Gutierrez and Landa is a little bit older at 33 and 27.
Well, we have our first appeal for this evening. The call stands. The U.S. Jake Bredenbeck thought he got it. I thought he got it too. You can make up your own minds wherever you're watching, but both line judges agreed with the head official. Short serve.
Score is 0-3, game 1.
Clever shot. Gutierrez waited for the ball to drop, knew that Jake was stuck in the back left and guided it into the left corner. 1 serving 3. Terrific from Bredenbeck. Second server in doubles. Both teammates get an opportunity to serve, except at the beginning of games, where only one receives that opportunity. Court hinder hit the camera line in the middle, so it'll be a quick replay.
Nice
Good pick
get
up
from
from
Landa.
Oh my goodness, what a get, Bobby Horn. Jake's going to shoot this. Another great get. What a rally. Oh, he got it. Oh, crack out on the right side. Jake Bredenbeck. What a terrific rally. Great shooting from the Mexican pair and defense from us, particularly Bobby Horn. Eventually, Bredenbeck giving the opportunity. He took it well.
That's one of Horn's strengths is defense. He's definitely known for being a defensive player.
Well, we hope you're enjoying this, and if you are, please do us a favor and share our feed on with others. We do appreciate your support of the IRF and what we're bringing to you this weekend. What will Horn do in the front? Oh!
He is so good at those fake outs. We've seen them before from Horn.
The crowd love it here. That was terrific. We saw yesterday he completely messed that one up. Maybe he's had a little practice since then, because that was beautiful.
He had a chance to redeem himself, gets the point. It's 4 serving 1. One interesting thing, though, about Team Mexico, they don't let too many things rattle them, and they usually use frustration and anger to their advantage. That's what Landa said in his interview earlier today after his singles match.
That's right, and we'll see how he does after that singles match. It was a tough match. Even though he won it 2 straight games, he was visibly tired by the end of it. And one of the things that we do here at the IRF is drug testing, which is a crucial component for remaining compliant. That's just unreal.
Nice from Jake, smooth backhand.
Remaining compliant with the World Anti-Doping Agency and the International Olympic Committee. And so Landa was on the receiving end of a doping test courtesy of his victory, as was Randa Racich this morning. Oh, I thought that might make it.
Yeah, it was good effort from Horn. It kind of bounced off funny and jammed him up a little bit. 2-4.
Really clever from Bobby Horn. Londa wants a wet ball. There's no argument from the Mexicans. They were hopeful more than expectant. But Laura, notice what Bobby did there. So many people just hit that as hard as they can, and often that comes off the back wall. He just guided it down the right side, focused on just getting that 2 bounces before the back, and that can be just as effective as a hard pass shot. Teams electing to lob serve so far in game 1. Excellent shot by Bredenbeck.
Excuse me. You hear so much communication in doubles. That's one of the things that I really enjoy watching, that is the team dynamic and how the players communicate with each other. It's so crucial.
There'll be an appeal here. A skip was called. It looked like it hit the line where our camera feed goes in, which if it does that, it is a skip because it's basically on the floor. One line judge agreed, one disagreed.
Yeah, like we lost power. Something happened with the power. Want me to go check it? Let me go check it.
Gutierrez to the ceiling. Bredenbeck. Oh, Londa just missed it. Not sure what happened there. But the U.S. take a commanding 7-2 lead. They're going to take a timeout, Mexico, and regroup. We'll take a timeout ourselves, and we'll be right back with you. Welcome back, everybody. 30th Pan Am Championships, last match of this tournament. USA versus Mexico. U.S. lead 7-2. High lob to the right side. Terrific reactions from both teams. That time Gutierrez down the right side. Good timeout then from Mexico. Laura, I mentioned earlier that timeouts should be taken when you need them, not necessarily when you reach a point in the match or when it's your serve, for example. There's a great example of Mexico taking a timeout on first server and using it well. But that time, Bredenbeck crunched it into the front left corner. Another point for the U.S., 8-2. They're rolling right now.
Such an incredible start for game 1.
Replay is the call. U.S. are the ones shooting the ball right now, but Bobby skips it, nods of his head. It was the right shot, he just didn't execute. Mexico need a run. That's the right shot, says head coach Dave Ellis.
We just heard him echoed.
Good job, he listened to me.
I'm going to say, Backhurst, you've been making some great predictions.
Terrific get from Bredenbeck. Skip was the call. I think that was a good shot. Wow, that's great from the U.S. Both of them acknowledged that it was a good shot.
Love to see that. Good sportsmanship is so important, and it's definitely one of the values held by the IRF.
Absolutely. Oh, no way. Rips it into the left side. The American on the left side. Really using pace and speed to control this first game. But they've got to avoid errors like that. That's a free point for Mexico, 4 serving 8. Loose from Londa. Oh, wow. He's on fire right now.
So much power from Jake Bredenbeck. His reputation is definitely known for his power. He is all the way, all the time. He's just usually full force.
He is full force, and sometimes that serves him as a disadvantage if he's not playing well because he does skip it a lot. A replay.
He is on right now.
It is difficult for the official where he's seated to see everything. I had a conversation with him just a little bit before this match started, and he said it's been very difficult to ref on this court, particularly doubles, because there's 4 people in front of you flying around the court, and you have to make a call, and sometimes you don't see it. Well, if you don't see it, you have to call it good. And that, of course, creates a dilemma when the players think that it's unjust, which is why we have the line judges, one on the left, one on the right, to help eliminate some of those bad decisions that might occur. He's terrific right now. Landa lifts up his hands. What can I do, he says. Gutierrez. Good hands from Landa to get that back. And Bobby Horn hits himself.
That's unfortunate.
Again, though, some errors creeping in, particularly on Horn's side. He skipped a few, made a couple of unforced errors. We're now at 5-8, so really Mexico starting to climb back into this match. Great get. Oh, again.
Defense.
Oh, hits Polo Gutierrez on the right side. That will be a side out. I'm not sure what the appeal is, though. I think he was confused about what happened.
The impressive thing is that the men hit it so hard and it's so fast. It's such a exciting match to watch, especially at this level. We have teams going for gold. In 2016, the doubles team from Mexico won, and Alejandro Landa was on that team. His partner was Javier Moreno. This year he's going for gold with Polo Gutierrez.
They won the Mexican Nationals, defeating Rodrigo Montoya and Andre Parilla. Oh my goodness, such a wrist snap. You know, he's got the nickname of the Beast, and sometimes you can understand why he hits it so hard, and when he hits it low, it's almost impossible to retrieve. And yesterday when they played Bolivia are known for their power hitting too, and it was just electric, and just trying to follow the ball, it was just incredible.
Not only is he so powerful, but in racquetball, you don't see too many taller players. He has a larger stature, which allows him like a really long reach as well. And then you throw in that beard that he's so proud of and really rounds out the nickname.
Another error from the Mexicans, 10-5. You can see is Landa's head, he looks a little dejected. He mentioned in his interview that sometimes getting frustrated helps him. And he also said that sometimes getting frustrated makes him worse. And right now, he's not playing well.
Looks like he'll take a timeout. Let's see if Team Mexico can turn things around when we come back. USA leads 11-5. We're back at the 30th Pan American Racquetball Championship. This is our doubles final. And USA leads 11-5, Mexico calling that timeout.
Oh, through the legs, Gutierrez. Good timeout again, Laura. Both times they've taken that timeout, they've earned a rally winning situation. So let's see if they can go on a run here. Doubles is often a game of runs.
I think they're just making a correction to the reffing scoreboard.
Yes, I think it had to do with the timeouts. I think he gave the U.S. a timeout used instead of Mexico.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looks like Mexico has used both of their timeouts already. Point for Mexico.
Just a lapse in concentration. 6-11, another point for the U.S. Landa does look a little fatigued. It was a very tough match earlier, and it's very warm in those courts. I think one of the other challenges, and I know the Mexican delegation asked about it, was the drug testing that he had to do immediately following the match. And that was just a random situation where the winners of these matches are chosen. So had he lost, he would not have been drug tested.
That's right. Landa defeated Charlie Pratt from the USA in his singles match and had only a little bit of a break between the drug testing and the women's doubles final.
So in this situation, if the U.S. can win this match, they will be enjoying that pleasure. And if Mexico win it, then Polo will be experiencing that. And because Landa's already done it, it will be a random selection of the two Americans. It's one of the reasons that we do this, is just to make sure that the matches are fair. We want to make sure that there are no essentially cheaters in the game, and everybody is playing at the same field in this court. Right now, though, it's the Americans who lead on the scoreboard.
USA leading 11-6. Oh. What
Terrific
a rally.
Terrific rally. You can see the Mexicans doing everything they can to win that point, but the Americans did not want to be denied in that situation. Retrieval until they attacked. 12-6. Soft hands from Landa.
Oh, wow. Jumping get from Bredenbeck.
And it'll be a replay. I can't tell you how
Hinder?
many times we've hit that camera wire today. It's pretty rare most of the time.
It is. I don't know why it's been such a target. We started using that camera in November 2016 at the IRF Junior World Championship. It's used on the tour, and it's never been hit this many times.
But we hope you enjoy the view from that front camera. It provides you a unique perspective that the fans here do not get to see.
It's my personal favorite.
Speaking of fans, there is no room in this show court. It is sweltering out here. I can't imagine how warm it must be in there. But that's just terrific again from the left-sided Jake Bredenbeck. He's on fire in this first game. Mexico 6, USA 12. Should be a replay.
Oh, they're going to appeal it. Horn says it was past him.
One agrees, one disagrees.
Bobby has some thoughts on it. You kind of got to watch out for that. The referee does reserve the right to issue you a warning.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to treat the refs with respect.
Absolutely. I mean, it should just be that's the decision. Let's move on. Now, the reason that the U.S. said that shouldn't be a replay is that the ball cracked out. Well, it kind of did, but Polo was definitely hindered by the American pair. And so in that situation, you don't know whether he could have retrieved it. And these are athletes. These are world-class athletes. They're in a gold medal situation, and you have to assume that he may have got it. And so you can't make that unless you're absolutely clear that he was unable to retrieve it. So in that situation, you have to give the benefit of the doubt to the defender.
Horn from the knees.
Polo Gutierrez on the right side rolls it out, forehand pinch.
12 serving 7.
Mexico still fighting. It's almost as if they're aiming for it. Replay.
They might be. I wouldn't put it past some of them. And I mean that in the best way. We've seen all these players on the Pro Tour as well. They've played against each other many times, whether it's an international competition or not. And so it's very interesting to see them in this dynamic representing their home country.
And you said it's a different dynamic, and there's no doubt. When they play professionally, they're representing themselves. Here, they're representing a country, and they have a coach, and they have teammates, and physical therapists, etc. And so it's just different. And that's just too good.
Loving that.
That's just too good. Not only did he get there with the terrific dive, but he did something with it, and it's so hard to execute while you're flying through the air.
But they do make some of the most difficult things look so easy. And like you said, these are world-class athletes, and it's so fun to watch them. There's so much athleticism. They put so much preparedness going into an event like this. I know that David Horn and Jake Bredenbeck have been training together. They don't live too close to each other. Team USA got together a couple weeks before and started training together, particularly in Stockton, California, where head coach Dave Ellis is based out of. Meanwhile, Gutierrez and Landa are both close to each other in Juarez, Mexico, where Gutierrez resides and Landa trains. Landa resides in El Paso, Texas.
Bobby Horn falls over. Oh, I thought he was going to get there.
He is so fast.
One of the things that I liked in that rally from the Mexican pair is that they didn't hit traditional shots. Right now, when they're playing the classic down the lines and cross court, the Americans seem to be overpowering them. You saw there, they played a lot of around the worlds, just some awkward shots to get the Americans moving when they hit. Smart shot. Apology there from Gutierrez, but really it was the fault of Horn being in his way. Gutierrez could have held up there, probably got the avoidable, but instead just guided it down the right side. Clever shot.
8 serving 13.
Make that 9. First server still. It's getting tight.
Nice pickup from Horn.
Almost from Bredenbeck. You saw him flying around the court. Looks like the U.S. are going to take a timeout.
So fast. We're going to take a timeout as well. We'll be back with more of our finals from San Jose, Costa Rica. Welcome back to the 30th Pan American Racquetball Championship. I'm Laura McCormick, and Timothy Baghurst is joining me on the mic. We have Team USA calling that timeout. Mexico with 10 points to USA's 13.
Just a reminder, the IRF does do a variety of different tournaments each year. World Seniors will be the end of August. World Juniors in November in Minneapolis, United States. And next year, the Pan American Championships, we learned this week, will be in Temuco, Chile.
That's a nice variety of places and events.
Look at Bobby Horn playing up. Great pickup from Gutierrez. And again, wow. Oh, Landa.
So much defense. Oh, man.
This time it's
Horn.
Bobby Horn. Oh, no. Oh, no. What a great rally from both teams. That was sensational.
Just amazing. Great defense from Polo Gutierrez, and then Horn stepping up with some defense for the USA.
What, second server, 10-13. Hope you enjoyed that. Such athleticism and quick reactions from all these players. Quick towel break and we're ready to go. crowd are really into it here. We heard gasps on every shot, and that was a gasp of disappointment as Gutierrez plows one into the floor. 13 serving 10, 2 points away from the first game. Another terrific rally. Oh, Landa, it kicked out. He just dove to get it. That'll be a replay. Truly is an exciting way to finish this Pan Am Championships. Make that 14-10. The return wasn't great from Landa. Right down the middle. Bredenbeck buries it into the left corner. Game point number 1. It was close. He had it on his racket. Skip called, half out. One of the rules that the IRF has is the official can request that players change their shirts. I suspect that will be forthcoming during the intermission between game 1 and game 2. But let's see how long that takes. The U.S. trying to take game 2. Second serve came off the back wall. Landa goes to the ceiling. Oh!
Ends it. Bredenbeck just giving an outstanding performance for our game 1, but there's still more of our doubles final, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with game 2 to see what Mexico has to say. We're back at the 30th Pan American Racquetball Championship. This is the men's doubles finals and wraps up our Pan American Championship today. I'm Laura McCormick, and Tim Baghurst is joining me. Tim, what are your thoughts on what we saw between Team USA and Team Mexico?
Well, I think the difference here is that Team Mexico are just lacking a little spark. Right now, Jake Bredenbeck is just playing out of his mind. And if I'm Team Mexico, I put most things on the right side for now. Bobby Horn has skipped a few. Yes, he's playing great. He's retrieving a lot of balls, but he's not the attacking force that the left-sided Bredenbeck is. And so if I'm Mexico, I want to put things more onto the right side. The reason we've got this little delay is because the players are changing their shirts, which is something I just mentioned prior to the end of this game. And that helps to eliminate, sweaty floors and keeps the play ongoing.
I was about to whip out my knowledge that you only have 2 minutes between each game, but that explains it.
And should also mention that these matches, once they're over the next few weeks, will be up on our YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, International Racquetball Federation, and if you subscribe to that channel, you'll get an email when we put up a new video so you can watch these again at your leisure.
Looks like the players are ready to start game 2. And this could be tough. We've seen a lot of momentum shifts that were occurring in the playoff draw all week in game 2. So we'll see how strong Mexico comes out with a side out right away.
And the serve was a little loose. Gutierrez rolled it out on the right side. Landa sticking with that lob.
First point for Mexico.
And you mentioned earlier that Bredenbeck likes to shoot it, and he'll shoot almost anything from any height. And he can flat roll it, but he can also leave it up. He loves the pinch, especially on the backhand side. And if he doesn't do it perfectly, what happens is it kicks back to the middle, and that's why we see Mexico with a 2-0 lead. Another great example. Situation where Bredenbeck could go to the ceiling and just force Mexico back, went for a little too much, came off the back wall. Again, a 3-shot rally. Just what Mexico wanted. Beautiful though that time. Took it in the center of the court, reverse pinch over to the left side. Too good from Gutierrez. So this is where I think Bredenbeck needs to mix it up a little bit. Stop going for the pinches every time. Mexicans are starting to push up to cover that. And another point for Team Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico starting out with a big lead right now in game 2, 5-0.
Credit to them. They've regained the momentum after losing the first game. Oh.
Gutierrez says it hit his racket. Get a replay.
That was close, but it was a skip. The U.S. back in the box, 0 serving 5. They need a run of their own to tie this up or move ahead. We've been playing 37 minutes. Again, Bobby Horn tried the same serve, and again the result was a kick out to the middle. Gutierrez put it down. Well, Landa wants 2 bounces. It was hard to see from here, and it looks like he's going to appeal 2 bounces. Both line judges overrule it. You can make up your own minds. You may have had a better sight than we did up here. It was overruled by both line judges. So the call is reversed, 6-0. Not that time. He had a lot of opportunities, finally puts it down, second server.
We see Team USA sort of using a bit of that I formation that we've talked about. There's 2 styles of playing doubles. Traditionally, a left side player and a right side player. But occasionally, you'll see Team USA going into that I formation.
So the I formation, just to explain, is usually where one player plays in front of the other. And there's a couple of different reasons why that happens. One, we usually see it because of an injury, where one player is injured, they still want to play doubles, and so one person will stand behind the other, and it essentially becomes a 2 versus 1. The other reason to do it is strategic, where one player will play further up front to cover the pinches and balls that are well struck, that bounce early twice. And so the other person then covers behind them. So that can be effective, but it also means that both players are typically right down the middle. So again, you're looking at 2 opportunities there for injury. Maybe even one player is less skilled than the other, and so that person is almost protected. Or we see it as a tactical move where one person covers the front, one covers the back. What you see from Mexico, though, is your typical formation. There's slight variations where one will push up slightly more than the other, but generally one will stay on the left and one will stay on the right.
Polo Gutierrez serving for Mexico. It's 7-0.
Almost got there, Landa. Not quite. Side out. Let's see if the U.S. can regroup. Screen serve is the request.
And an appeal. Looked like Landa wanted the appeal. Gutierrez held him off.
Well, he looked at his coach and said, "Should I appeal?" And his coach shook his head no.
Getting some clarification from our referee.
It looked like Landa did hold up, and in that situation, don't hold up. Raise your racket, continue to play unless the referee stops. 1 serving 7. Change up from Bobby Horn, went down the line instead of his Z serve.
Yeah, it looks like Bobby's having trouble, Horn is having trouble finding what works for him in game 2. And he's starting to get very frustrated. We saw a much more animated Horn in game 1, and it's interesting to see how that starts to play on a player. Of course, the mental focus, when you're winning, you're up, but it's like you have to keep that momentum too, because you don't want to let it actually get you down and drag your whole team down.
And the U.S. did use a timeout to regroup earlier, we saw. But again, we've just seen a switch. The Mexicans seem to have calmed down, playing a little bit smarter, trying not to do too much, rather than the Americans forcing it maybe a little too much right now. There's a great example. Bradenbeck not able to put the ball down. Finally, David Bobby Horn puts it down. But again, it's a little bit wild in the front. No wide angles, no down the lines, all pinches.
There's a pinch winner for Horn.
And a little miscommunication between the two Mexicans. Both of them were there. I think they both hesitated just an instant, and that affected the outcome. 3-7. You can't do it any better, Laura. That time he flat rolls it. Suddenly he's back in form.
Yeah, looks like Horn woke up again, and Bredenbeck woke up again, and he's turning it on right now. It's 4-7. Oh. Ref calls a good shot. USA thought it skipped.
So here what Horn's doing is he's looking at the number of appeals he has. We've got the tablet up on the left, and then he's having a discussion with his partner to see whether they should appeal. They have 3 appeals.
He also looks back at his coach who gave him the thumbs up and said, nope, that was a good ball.
Mexico 8, USA 4. Landa sticking with this lob serve. It's been working. Difficult. Landa did well to get that back. Oh, Gutierrez, beautiful hands.
Wow.
You saw Landa, he appreciated the effort of his partner. Great shot.
Point for Mexico. It's 9-4 in game 2.
What a great match this is. It's living up to what a final can be. We hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching. Another excellent serve. Gutierrez goes to the ceiling. Horn will shoot this. Landa, wide angle. Excellent shot. So when you're in that I formation, that is a great shot to hit, because it goes past the first player and dies in the back. No one was home. Oh, Gutierrez just leaned back as he swung and then pushed it down.
10 serving 4. Looks like Bredenbeck has a broken string on his racket. Horn thought Bredenbeck called an official timeout, or a team timeout, but he did not. It's just a referee timeout, so Bredenbeck has 30 seconds to change out his racket.
And during that timeout, he's not permitted to have a conversation with his coaches or teammates, etc. That would be an unfair advantage to the U.S.
Gutierrez will continue serving now for Mexico. It's 10-4.
And that was a good example of officiating, because Bobby Horn thought it was a timeout, and it was just pure accident. It wasn't on purpose. And the referee just said, no, there's no timeout being called. You need to stay in the court, rather than allowing Bobby Horn to come out and then you didn't call a timeout. There's a delay of game. So just Good refereeing. That looks short. Expect Mexico to appeal this, but they won't. So this is where the U.S. should appeal it.
Yeah, we
It
see
looks
some
short.
of the fans holding up their
Oh, here we go.
thumbs,
Charlie
asking
Pratt
for the
is telling
appeal.
them. And both line judges overturn it. So there's an example where the Mexicans wanted the short serve. They won the rally, and the U.S. said, actually, we'll appeal that for you because we want Bobby Horn to serve this rather than Jake. 4-10. Great get, Landa. Oh, pickup from Horn. Landa, though,
Oh, and a skip from Bredenbeck.
goes cross court. Horn is on the right side, and that's one of the challenges when players switch. Bredenbeck has been hitting the backhand so much that he switches over to hit the forehand. 95% of the time he's hitting a backhand, and he just wasn't ready.
This match will wrap up the Pan American Championship as these players are fighting for gold. We've already seen some gold medals awarded today. Randa Racek from USA defeated Paola Longoria. And Alex Landa defeated Charlie Pratt from USA, also winning gold. And women's doubles, Team Mexico takes the gold. That's Samantha Salas and Paola Longoria.
And just a reminder, you can see all of our results on our website. Just go to internationalracquetball.com, click on events and live events. And next week they'll be in past event results. We've had a variety of divisions, not just the open division here for the national members, but we've also had a challenger for juniors, 14 and 16s, and also a friendship cup, friendship division, which is very competitive. Oh, Landa. Oh, but it goes out. So that's a loss of rally to Mexico. Second server. If the ball bounces and goes out over the 12-foot line, it's a replay. In that situation, it's not. What's the call? Avoidable hinders called. Gutierrez doesn't like it. The coaches want to appeal it. They will. One disagrees and one agrees. Always contentious, the avoidable hinder, Laura.
4 serving 10. Quick hands from Bredenbeck for a point.
Landa thought it hit the middle camera line. Looks back to his coach and asks, it looks like it's Aaron Palomino. Shook his head. Don't appeal that one, he said. Great response from Landa. That was tough. Oh, look at what he did.
Bredenbeck sticks with it.
Oh, this is difficult. Oh, that'll be a replay. Landa did everything he could just to stay in that point and earned a replay. Apology from him. That's nice to see.
So it's 5 serving 10. That's a replay.
Short serve.
Nice pinch winner from Horn for the 6th point for USA.
We've been stuck there for a while, 10-5. Let's see if the U.S. can get on a run. 9 points away from a match, but Mexico lead game 2. Landa. Both players on their knees. Great pickup, Bobby Horn. Great defense. Oh, Landa skipped it.
Wow. Gutierrez doing a tremendous job getting out of the way on that too. And then Landa with great coverage in the back of the court.
It was a terrific rally. Mexico looked like they're taking a timeout.
We'll take a quick break as well. Don't go anywhere. There's more of our 30th Pan American Racquetball Championship. Welcome back to our doubles final, where Team USA is down 7-10 against Team Mexico. Mexico calling that timeout.
Londa looks pretty tired after that long rally and wisely took a timeout to regroup. He's had a long day already and needed to refocus. They have 2 timeouts, so that's only 1 used.
We saw Londa in the men's singles final, and he won gold over USA Charlie Pratt. That was earlier today.
Looked like a skip. So again, another example of how the timeout can be used. It was first server USA, now it's second. Jake struggled with that serve. It does come off the back wall a lot. Londa punished it. So 2 rallies won following that timeout. Here we are 10 serving 7.
Wow.
Broken ball.
We have a broken ball.
So you saw Bobby Horn run up there to check that ball. Why did he run up there so quickly? Well, because in the IRF rules, you can only check if a ball is broken by squeezing it. So in that situation, if Londa had, for example, served and the ball broken, then the previous point would have stood. So Bobby Horn wanted to make sure that the Mexican duo didn't hit the ball because he suspected it to be broken. It's just a heads-up play from Horn.
Right. Well, and there's a different sound when the ball breaks, and I'm sure Horn identified that immediately. 11-7, Mexico.
Polo Gutierrez. Londa needs his support. Londa has been playing today. Gutierrez, this is his only final today. Oh, that's nice hands from him, guiding it down the right side. Bobby Horn looks at the score, asks whether he should take a timeout. It looks like they will be.
We'll take a quick break as well. It's 13-7 in game 2. Don't go anywhere. We're back in game 2. It's 13 serving 7, Mexico leading.
Look at that, US take a timeout, look what happens. Second server. I mentioned earlier today, Laura, that sometimes taking your timeout at 14 at game point or match point isn't the best idea because it may be too little too late. Sometimes, well, I'll wait till I'm match point and then take my timeout, but you've allowed your opponent to gain 1 or 2 points and take it when you need it. In this case, Horn took the timeout at 13-7 and it worked. I like how he ran up to take that early. He just didn't execute. So here we are, 14-7.
Looks like Mexico wants to take us to tiebreaker so they can go after the gold.
Almost made it. Gutierrez on the right side.
7 serving 14.
Charlie, talk to me, said David Bobby Horn.
He's talking to Charlie Pratt,
And
a finalist in the audience.
Charlie Pratt said, no, don't talk to me because it was short. No appeal from the U.S. team. That's 2 that Bobby Horn's missed up there. Frustrated with himself, second server. Smart shot, Londa. Great get, Horn. Landa, cross court. Terrific rally.
Oh.
Gutierrez skips it. It sounded like a skip. It looked like a skip from here.
Ref calls a skip.
There's an appeal. One disagrees, one agrees.
Point
Sure
for
looked like a
USA.
skip from here.
Point USA, it's 8-14. Oh, and the ball hits Bobby Horn.
Unlucky. He was a little unsighted as Gutierrez moved out the way. Again, the U.S. have appeals. He could say, I was short, I was screened. He doesn't. Landa sticking with that serve. This time Bredenbeck, goes to the ceiling, and look what happened. Didn't go for too much. A little wry smile, though, from Bredenbeck. I think this is game point number 3. Oh, wow, what a way to win the second game. Landa reverse bench. The Mexican team win it 15-8.
We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with the tiebreaker, which remember is only a game to 11, win by 1. We'll be back with more of our 30th Pan American Racquetball Championship final in just a moment. Welcome back to the 30th Pan American Racquetball Championship in San Jose, Costa Rica. I'm Laura McCormick, and Timothy Baghurst is joining me on the mic. We have had some amazing finals all day today at the 2017 Pan American Racquetball Championship. We want to go ahead and thank our sponsors for making this event possible. We couldn't do it without their support. And of course, that includes the Olympic Channel, iCoder, Fecora Federación Costarricense de Racquetball. I'm sure I butchered that, being the American that I am.
Good effort, Laura.
San Jose Indoor Club, the Costa Rica National Olympic Federation, INS, Tortiricas, Hyatt Place San Jose, Pasto Roma, CCDRC, and of course the IRF sponsors eForce and Pro Pen. The official ball of the IRF is the green pen ball.
And we'd like to thank everybody who's made this such a terrific event, particularly the staff and everybody involved here in Costa Rica, particularly Marcelo Gomez, the president of PARC, Pan American Racquetball Confederation, and the president of Costa Rica Racquetball. It's been a great event, really well run. We've really enjoyed our time here. It's a beautiful country, and if you haven't, you should visit.
It is. It's been an outstanding experience. It's such a pleasure to come to an event like this and see all the teams and the countries united. Even though they're competing against each other, there's a lot of support across the board. 0-0 in our breaker.
So those unfamiliar with, it looks like a wet ball claim, but it didn't work in game 1 for Mexico, so I doubt it's going to work in game 3 for USA. In a tiebreaker, you play to 11 and win by 1. Just like the first games. Wow. They overturned it. That's interesting because earlier in the match they didn't. There's more conversation going with Team Mexico, but I'm not quite sure what it is. It should just be a replay. Gutierrez is played this very fairly this evening and really enjoy seeing him back playing. And we hope his surgery goes well and he's back representing his country. Terrific pickup from Landa. Oh, but Gutierrez just missed it down the right side. Horn almost got a little lucky just from a miss hit almost. I don't think that was deliberate. a great match to finish this tournament. But it hit Bredenbeck's feet.
Oof.
But was it a second bounce?
Bredenbeck saying that was on the second bounce. They appeal.
One
Mexico
agrees and one
appeals.
disagrees.
Wow, half out. It looks like
So
Horn
this
wants
call
to
goes in
clarify.
favor of Mexico, but I think Bobby Horn was just confused about. He was just clarifying the call. So half out. Very difficult to see from these positions. Change up on the serve. Replay.
Referee calls avoidable.
So
USA
this is
not
where
happy.
this is where Horn is providing a few antics, but really, listen, if you don't like the call, appeal it. And they're not appealing it. That makes no sense to me. If they really think that it's a replay instead of an avoidable, use your appeals. Don't act incredulous against the decision and then walk back and accept it.
Skip from Londa. USA picking on Londa a little bit, telling the ref that due to his aggressive hits after that, it should be a warning at least.
Oh, Gutierrez, what a pickup. Oh my goodness. Look, he's pumped up for this. It looked like he was hindered, but he kept playing. The referee did not stop play, and he just flat rolled it in the left corner. Replay called. Well, he's consistent.
We'll
You got to give him credit. And you know what? The Mexican coaches tell him not to appeal. It looked like the left side might have been hindered. Gutierrez says, well, he had down the line. That's true, but the rules state you have to give them both. Down the line and cross court to the back left side. That's a good shot from Gutierrez. He responds well following the decision against him. 0 serving 1. Well,
he's a little flip-floppy right now. He responds well, but then has an unforced error.
Bredenbeck got a little lucky there. He hit a terrific serve. Had the opportunity to go straight down the line, but tried to pinch it. Didn't put it down. Horn wants a wet ball. It's so difficult to call.
So
our referee, Chris Exner, just got a little confused there. It's a long day, Laura.
It is.
Referees have to concentrate the entire time. And so we really appreciate all the work that they do to help make this a terrific event. It's so hard to referee. Having done it for several years, I can attest to that, because you want to do every call correct, and it's just so rare that it happens.
This is a tough tiebreaker. It's 2-1, Mexico leading. Referee calls a replay.
Why?
Gutierrez loudly asks why,
No,
and then much more quietly.
Well, the crowd here, they're enjoying this entertainment. It's controversial, but they are really engaged. There's no room. People hanging through windows and on balconies all around us. It's very warm out here. I can't imagine how hot it is in the court. Oh, wow.
Nice from Bredenbeck.
And Bobby Horn, but Landa. Oh, he skips it. He was so close. Second server, 2-1.
Two serving one. Remember, the tiebreaker is played to 11.
Well, remember earlier in game one, I talked about Bobby Horn's shot down the right side where he just guided it, took some pace off it. I think that's what he needs to do again. He goes to the ceiling, though. It's not a bad one at all. Landa's equally good. Oh, yes, there it goes. Bobby Horn wants a replay because we had our light drop off during the point.
Yeah, that light drop off has been affecting our camera as well. I think part of the club is trying to tear down from the rest of the event, and it's starting to affect the main court.
Well, and this is a situation where Horn wants to appeal it. I think we're getting a rules clarification on whether that is a replay, but Laura, did you notice at any point, even during those ceiling balls, did anybody appeal that situation? They just continued playing. It looked as if it didn't affect them. And
well,
so because the U.S. lost the point,
yeah, I was just
now they're
say,
appealing.
That's part of the strategy a lot of the time. We've seen it even on things like a short serve. A server might not call it on themselves unless they lose the point and they go, actually, I want to appeal, my serve was short. So it is an interesting strategy, and it's something that we really only see on the international stage.
And so what we're doing here, we have a tournament director. We also have a technical committee that helped to address some of the rules. And it looks like we're just getting clarification. If a light goes off, something like that, is it an automatic replay?
Well, you know what? Let's take a short break. It looks like they're debating what to do next. We'll be back in just a moment with more of our doubles final, and we'll get you a ruling as well. We're back at the 30th Pan American Racquetball Championship, getting a call on what to do about the situation with the lights flickering. They were appealing.
So the appeal was that Horn said the lights flickered and therefore it impeded my play. And the official said the lights did flicker, but I said it did not impede your play, and the line judges agreed. And so, as a consequence, the U.S. lose one of their appeals. They only have one remaining. We talked about the importance of saving them, and right now it's only one serving four. Notice that the U.S. have switched sides. Interesting tactic. Skip from Bredenbeck on the right side. Trying something different. Excellent shot, Polo Gutierrez. The Mexican fans and crowd below really appreciate that shot. Again, though, ball really came off that back wall. It's so humid here that the ball really does fly. We're at altitude about 3,500 feet. Cement walls. The green Pro Pen ball is quick. Landa looks to his coach just to confirm he agrees. 4 serving 1. First to 11.
Looks like switching sides is working for USA. We have Horn now on the backhand side. Get a side out.
Well, we'll see if it works. Right now, we're still in early days in the tiebreaker. I think if they claim this as the gold medals winners, we could say it worked. If they don't, well, at least you give them credit for trying something different.
Sure, and it mixes it up for them, and they've been able to win a couple of rallies this way. So,
and they
for
lost
now
the
it's
second
working.
game. They lost the second game 15-8. They were in command in game one, 15-10. It's almost as if they've let the game itself get away from them and forgotten what they got them there, which is focus, concentration, and quick hands like Jake Bredenbeck.
Kissing his racket. 2-4. Definitely seems to still be working for USA. 3-4. Good defense from Bobby. Horn.
Off the back wall this time. Can't put it down. Landa. You saw Horn. He was, no way, I got that. And his partner, Bredenbeck, said, actually, no, you didn't.
Good teamwork and communication.
And sometimes in the heat of the moment, you think you get something. In reality, you don't.
Certainly.
Gutierrez puts it down. Good shot. Side out. 4 serving 3.
He didn't even have to move. That ball came right back to him, and he buries it.
You can feel the tension around us. Standing room only. Great serve from Landa. That time, Horn puts it down on the left side on his backhand. It's anybody's game right now. What hands from Horn to stay in that point.
Good pickup from Horn.
Bredenbeck. Oh!
Gutierrez.
Terrific rally from both teams. Hope you appreciate the athleticism and speed from these 4 players. Really is highlighting the best of what racquetball can be.
Now, we don't always see these teams matched up this way. Like we said, in 2016 at the Pan American Championship, Alex Landa and Javier Moreno won gold, but Polo Gutierrez and Alex Landa have played together before for many years before this, so it's nice to see them reunited and playing together again.
And working very well as a team. We've seen a lot of miscommunication from some doubles partners this week who may be the best 2 singles players in their country and are put together as a doubles pair. Doesn't always work that way. It's a good call from our official.
He calls a replay.
Oh, replay it is. 6-3, 5 points away for Team Mexico. They're edging closer. It's a smart shot from Gutierrez. Looks like the U.S. are going to take a timeout. It's their final timeout.
We'll be back with more of our finals as Mexico leads 7-3 in the breaker. Don't go anywhere. This is the 30th Pan American Racquetball Championship. Welcome back to the doubles final where Team Mexico is leading 7-3 over Team USA. USA won game 1 15-10. Mexico answered back to win game 2 15-8. That's how we got here to 7-3 in the breaker.
Well, based on our tablet to the left, the screen, that's the U.S.'s first timeout. Here we go.
Oh, and a skip from Bredenbeck. 8-3 Mexico.
And we're in this situation now where you don't want to be the one to lose it. And so again, it starts to get mental. You're thinking about not making a mistake, and as a consequence, you lack that confidence to take your shots. Maybe you hit it a little higher than you normally would. But that was clever from Horn. You saw how he slowed it down. Landa wanted to finish the point. He wanted to get there, and it was a rash shot from him.
Maybe he was too hungry for that shot. Side out for USA. Horn serving. 3-8.
What a great serve. But Laura, look how far that ball came off the back wall, allowing Landa to hit it near the encroachment line. Hits Bobby Horn as it goes cross court on the right side. So here we go, 8-3. Mexican team need just 3 points for a gold medal here at these 2017 Pan Am Championships.
Oh, and a big skip from Gutierrez.
Again, you sense it's a little tense. They're trying to do too much.
Looks
Remember
like
what got them there.
Team USA switch sides again. Bredenbeck on the left side and Horn on the right.
Terrific shot from Bredenbeck. And they switch again. Looks like they're both double serving to Landa. Maybe they think he's a little more fatigued.
He has to be. He was a finalist today. He won gold against Charlie Pratt, and he's the only person on the court who already played a match today.
Horn buries it in the left side. Point for USA. 4 serving 8. They're certainly not out of this tiebreaker.
Short serve. We've got a second.
Make your predictions in the chat box. Who's going to win? What will the score be? Oh, that's 2 bounces. Terrific effort from Horn. Not able to get there. Couple push-ups on the way up.
Pretty critical moment right now in game 3. Comes down to good communication between the two teammates, that's for sure. Nice pickup from Horn.
Gutierrez. Oh, flat rolls it on the right side. Terrific shot from Gutierrez. What a match this has turned into be. We had 3 days of round robin matches to determine seeding for all these single elimination championships. And it's resulted in some just incredible matches this week, and we see year after year how close teams are getting to each other. Example being Dominican Republic in the semifinals of doubles, Costa Rica in the semifinals of singles. And it's great to see other countries starting to compete at the top. Great defense, Landa. Clever shot. Oh,
man.
no.
Gutierrez slipping. He's
So
asking
we'll
for
have
a
an
wet
appeal
ball
for the wet ball.
on the wall.
Last time the line judges agreed. Oh, dear. This is where Gutierrez needs to control himself. He's frustrated with the line judge.
Quite animated.
And I think you have to be, because last time they gave a wet ball in that situation. Eight serving 4.
Good reach from Gutierrez.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Horn jumps up onto the wall on the right side, not able to dig it out.
Point
9
for
serving
Mexico.
4. Match point number 1 for Team Mexico. Landa's pumped. He wants 2 gold medals from this week. Let's see if he can get there. Horn checks a wet spot. Gutierrez, 10-4. Here a pin drop.
Oh,
and
the
they do
horn
it. Team
misses it.
Mexico come back, losing the first game 15-10. They close it out 15-8, 11-4. Great to see such camaraderie between these players. Terrific effort, Laura, from both teams in this last match at the Pan Am Championships.
Such an exciting way to end the 2017 Pan American Racquetball Championship. We love to see it. Great competition all week. We're going to send Tim down to talk to the winners, Alex Landa and Polo Gutierrez. Tim, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast and providing all of your expertise in racquetball. We really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure, Laura, and I hope everybody watching from where you are have appreciated Laura and Pablo here putting on a terrific broadcast for all of us. And we're so excited to be able to provide you with this commentary, and we'll have these matches on YouTube in the next couple of weeks.
All right, well, thank you all for watching. Don't go anywhere. We'll be interviewing the new Pan American doubles champions, Alex Landa and Polo Gutierrez.
With the winners of the men's doubles, Polo Gutierrez, Alejandro Landa. Congratulations to you both. Polo, this was your final today. Landa already won in the singles. It must mean a lot for you.
Yeah, it does. I'm very happy. This wasn't expected. I wasn't even playing the nationals, but this guy convinced me, and here we are.
And Landa, you had a singles, and it was a tough match this morning. You talked about what you had to do to come into this match. You must be very tired right now.
Actually, at this moment, I feel okay. Maybe in 10 minutes I'll be dead, but everything is worth it. So thanks, Polo, for playing with me once again. We are really good friends. He's one of my best friends, close friends. So I think that helps in the court.
Well, you were down. You lost the first game 15-10. What did you do to change the match and take a tiebreaker?
I just wanted to win. That was all. That was the key, and that was it.
Okay. Well, thank you both very much for your representation here, and I'm sure everybody back in Mexico is very proud of you both. Men's doubles champions, gold medalists. Well done.